All right, guys, welcome back to part two of my little studio creative area makeover. Last night I kind of just stopped right here, and now we're just going to jump right back into it. If you're not sure what I'm talking about here, you got to go back and watch part one. It's in my playlist, Day in My Life, and you can find that there, or it's linked in the description below if you want to check part one and see where we left off. So before we jump right back into the project, again, I do want to remind you to hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you here as a follower, and hit the little bell if you want to be notified every time I post a video. Let's jump right into today's project. All right, guys, so picking up right where we left off, I'm applying my painted trim here to in between the panel board and the pegboard, just using an air nailer and tapping it into place in a couple spots just so it's secure. And then I'm going to be putting up my laser cuts here that I cut with the laser, the floral design. And actually, I put it on here and it caught the nail at the top, which was kind of perfect. So it held in place. Stuck on the nail. Anyways, moving on, let's get that tacked into place. Next, I'm going to measure for the quote that I'm going to be putting here. I wanted to put something fun here, and honestly, this is going to be a hot mess, you guys, these next couple of slides. I had no clue what I was doing, and I was out of the in the navy paint. Originally, what I wanted to do was put my quote up and have it just kind of blend into the wall. I wanted everything to be that in the navy color, so it was there, but it was just very slight. But like I said, I didn't have any of that paint left. So I started out with a vintage effect wash. It was way too blue. It did not match the navy at all. Then I decided to go over it with this Deco Art Metallics ice blue. Don't know what the heck I was thinking there. It looks so bad. And then I found this Rit denim blue dye on my shelf. And I thought, you know what? It's good for cotton, wool, nylon, plus more. And maybe the plus more is wood. Maybe I could dye this wood like a navy, and maybe the wood tones would pick up if the dye sunk into it. Honestly, I'm like, oh my gosh, what were you thinking? Like, it did not work at all. So, big fail there. It did go a little darker, but honestly, I was just like, Holly, what are you doing? Figure out what you want and just do it, because I went through so many different paints. So, scratch this. We're going to go back to the beginning and find something different here. We're going to scratch the blue and we're going to go for something different. So, I put this shimmer top coat over from the Enchanted Deco Art line. It didn't really do much. So then I came in with the Enchanted base coat and started right from the beginning. Now this is black, but this is Enchanted. So what you do is you put the base coat down and then you put this top coat over top, and the black turns into this iridescent color. So I went with gold. So but because I had so many different layers of paint on here, it just kind of didn't go the way it was actually supposed to go. But I thought it looked pretty cool, actually. So then I came in with this pocket watch metallic accent cream from Country Chic Paint just to give it a little slight more sheen. And then I had my heat gun going because I'm super impatient and couldn't wait for it to dry. But as I was drying it, I noticed the paint was kind of like bubbling a little bit and kind of, I'm going to use the word crystallizing for lack of a better word. And it actually gave this really cool effect. So if you asked me to recreate this, I probably couldn't, because I don't even know what I did. I did so much paint, so many different layers of stuff. But in the end, I was quite happy with what I was left with. So we're going to move on here. We're going to put the masking tape on it and we're going to stick it in the laser. And we're going to cut out our quote here. Once the laser was done cutting, I removed the letters, and just to show you guys a quick little peek here, this is what it looks like. And like I said, honestly, this is a creative mind at work here, just trying all kinds of different things until you get some sort of desired look. Honestly, I probably couldn't recreate it if I tried. But I did have to cut a cardboard template because I'm putting this up on the wall, and the quote is a little, you're going to see when it goes up, it's just very wavy and kind of, it's not straight across. So I want to make sure all the letters were exactly in spot. So I cut this cardboard template, and then here's just another little close up of the letters, because quite honestly, I can't believe how good they turned out after that hot mess that I was doing. But anyway, so I put the cardboard up here on the wall just with a little bit of painter's tape just to hold it in spot while I was putting up the letters. So my cardboard cutout, you'll notice the whole quote is on there. That's because the quote was too big to fit in my laser. So I just cut out as much as I could just to get me started and to get the letters in place here. Now, I know I've mentioned this in my videos before. I am a huge fan. Oh, this is me a little frustrated here. I'm a huge fan of the eyeball method. So I didn't really measure when I put up the cardboard. I'm just going with my eyeballs here. And then I used my air nailer to tack the letters into place. And here is the finished quote up on the wall. I think it turned out pretty good, all things considering. I do have to figure out what I'm going to do with this pipe here in a minute. But before I did that, I did want to just fill in all the little nail holes from the air nailer. So I actually just came in with the metallic accent cream again from Country Chic Paint, and it just filled in these holes so nicely, just so you don't even see them. So I did all the letters, making sure you didn't see any of those tacky little nail holes. And now we're going to figure out what we want to do for this giant pipe that's going up the wall here. This is actually for my laser, so I need it for ventilation. I have these blinds here, these paper blinds. My sister actually got these from the auction. She got like a whole case of them and she didn't know what to do with them, so she gave me a couple. It has an adhesive little tape on the side. I'm going to tape that to the wall and then I'm going to wrap it around the tube. Is it perfect? No. Does it cover the tube and hide that little mess? I think so. Yes. So then I put my pegboard back together, and this is the fun part here, being able to put everything back together, organize and redo the whole space and make it just a little bit more livable. So I just kind of set up my pegboard. Now, this space here, I have the little paint rack here. This actually I got from the thrift store. I don't know what it is. I think it's a spice rack, to be honest. I'm not 100% sure. But, anyways, I'm going to hang it up here. And this is where I'm going to put all my seasonal paints that I'm using. So, I'll probably switch this out based on the season and put the paint colors in here that I'm going to be using the most based on what kind of crafting I'm doing. But I thought it was just a unique little thing to hang here and have some organization. So now I'm going to finish cleaning up, and I got this whole other mess on the other side of the room that I'm going to have to think about and maybe do that later. But for now, I'm just happy to have this small little corner finished. And it turned out better than I thought it would. So this is the before, and you can remember from the first video, really junky, really dull, really dreary. But like I mentioned, this is a workable space. I need this space to be workable. I wanted it pretty, but I also wanted it functional and something that I could come down here and work. So is it absolutely perfect? 100% no. Is it magazine worthy? Probably not, but it's functional with a little bit of style and a little bit of prettiness. And I'm so happy that it just turned out and I was able just to use things that I had around the home. I didn't go out, I didn't buy a single thing for this project. I did not leave my home and I did not go to a store and buy anything. And it just totally revitalized this space and makes it look so much better. Now, the one thing I didn't touch was the underneath of this workbench. It was all open. If you remember, I'm not going to do anything with that. I had thought about putting some curtains there, making it pretty. And then I thought, why are you going to do that to yourself? You have to work in here. And if you have to move a curtain every time you need to get something, that's going to be annoying. Over here is my laundry room area. I just want to give you guys a quick little peek. I'm going to be moving down the workbench and making this pretty as well. But for now, I have this small little corner all organized and it looks so great, I think. So, yeah, there you can see under the cupboards. I'm not going to put the curtains there. Would it look prettier? Yes, but I'm not going to do that to myself. It'd just be such a headache when I'm working to have to move curtains. My laser's all clean and set up and ready to go for my next laser video. So that's it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this small little makeover. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope it gives you a little bit of inspiration to shop your own home and see which little tiny spaces in your house you can revitalize with just a little bit of sweat equity. So, thank you so much once again, you guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little bell if you want to be notified every time I post a video. And until the next one, we'll see you later.